two people who introduced me. Joaquin knew me for 17 years, and Dr. Gendre has been studying my case and probably writing a book. So I brought my strengths here, along with the ever-entertaining Dr. Willie soon to moderate, but we are the Tea Party, right? I like that. Not just any tea party, the Worcester Tea Party.
Yeah, right. All right.
We're trying.
We are the red meat people. We like red chilies. We are patriots too. We are for smaller government, less spending, lower taxes. You agree?
Yes.
Yes.
Definitely.
We don't like
Big government.
the big government bullshit train. Look at all the little cabooses there. No end in sight.
Excuse us French folks, he was on my show a few weeks ago. He hasn't become uncensored yet.
You like this? So, in Massachusetts, well, when the people fear the government, there is tyranny,
Yes.
and that makes us all angry. The American oligarch, you can meet him now. Exclusive cronies with influence all claim change. Meet the wise guys, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg. They escaped from Massachusetts. One went to New Mexico, the other one went to California to start their businesses. Why? Because good businesses realized early on that we are anti-business here. Massachusetts is not a healthy state for businesses. We've got a lot of problems, and these are all red meat issues for us. But unlike Gates and Zuckerberg, I felt I could build my Google in Massachusetts. Probably it's a mistake. Next. I took on the challenge of addiction medicine in 91. Till 91, I was the Associate Medical Director for the Department of Corrections. So I had the control on many of the state prisons, and I was providing care for the close to 29,000 prisoners in Massachusetts. So then I branched into my own practice, and I built a company, Preventive Medicine Associates, with 370 amazing people. And it started slowly with one center in Brighton, but it snowballed pretty quick. Went into Springfield, all around, and in 2010 we had close to 38, 39 centers. People were inviting us, the mayors were calling us. We want a center. We had 2 methadone clinics, we want a sobriety center. So communities were calling us, we were going in, investing the money, and setting up these centers, what Joaquin so eloquently described, home-based, primary care-based, seamless system of care. And we were valued at about $60 million to $100 million. That's 3 to 5 times the gross income we were making in 2010. People wanted to buy us out and put us out of business in 2010. I resisted because we were doing so well. Probably that's a mistake too. So next. Well, the way we made wealth is by going upstream, downstream, and midstream. We basically control the gate. we were educating families and people, so people were not getting into addiction early on. We were controlling the home detox, is controlling the midstream. When people need care, we were giving it, and we're going downstream with sober housing, keeping people safe, and make sure that they don't relapse. So this is our name to fame: a continuous single system of care in a primary care setting. We're doing very well. In 2001, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Massachusetts recognized us as their primary caregiver for addiction, which brought in 2.4 million people, the lives of people. Anybody who is addicted has to come to us. So that really put us on a big pedestal. This led to Celtics recognizing our practice as so we got the Hero Award, a practice. I took it on behalf of the practice, and they honored us because we were doing good work with the Celtics, helping the kids, helping the communities. They were coming in to help us too. So we were basically doing very well. There was a lot of hope. People loved us. They were inviting us. Usually addiction practices are not popular because they think they bring in all the bad element into the community. But we were on the main streets at 116 Belmont. We had 2 floors of practice. We were in the front street. We had another practice. We had many practices in Worcester, and it's all by invitation. People were calling us, we want this kind of sobriety maintenance practice. By 2011, my practices were single-handedly controlling the epidemic. You heard of the epidemic of drug addiction? When people declare an epidemic, it is 7.7% of the population are infected. So we have up to 10-12% of the people addicted to drugs. So we were sitting like a kid with a finger in the dike. We were holding the epidemic from becoming out of control because of the vast number of clinics we had. Staff who are all well trained, thanks to people like Joaquin. He trained a lot of my new incoming staff. We're doing very well. We were like one single team. The proof you can see. Can you put it up a bit or? I'm going to go back. That's good. You can see here. This is 2000, 2001, 2002, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11. During the time, the deaths never went over 600. 300 is the more common. The moment they closed our practice, it went up to 695, 918, 1379, 1751, 1979. We can see the upward slope because there's nobody taking care of the people in the communities. They had to go to these programs, very hard to access them. It's a broken system. So you can see the proof here. Right now, we are losing a Boeing plane every day, which is about 130 people a day are dying in this country. It's like 47,000 people are dying, and it's going up at the rate of 12 to 15% every year. So, unfortunately, whatever the interventions they're making at the federal level, state level are not working. So if we had a Boeing plane crash every day, there will be news all over. But these are addicted people who are dying, so the care and concern is much less. On September 20th, 1945, my practice was taken down. So I hope it's going to be a movie. They're making a movie out of our practice and how it's being done and what happened. So there's a lot of drama here. Next. Well, the Chinese ideogram for crisis is danger and opportunity. Bad things have happened to me in the sense I lost my practice, I lost my reputation, but I met a lot of good people. Hal Shirtler, I've never have met. I met the people here. So a lot of good things have happened. People have written about the practice in various journals. There are a couple of books coming out. Dr. Chandra is going to write one, and Martin Celebrity. So there are a lot of good things that are happening. The Chinese use two brushstrokes to write the word crisis, one for danger and the other one for opportunity. So we've got to be aware of what needs to be done here. So as you can see over the year, a lot of things have happened. Dr. Chandra has sort of put it into 5 phases. What happened to the practice? What happened to me? What happened to the evidence? What happened to the trial? All of these are happening like clockwork. There's a lot of drama here. Well, Martha Coakley and her gang came to my house. They came in with 20 of these state police cars, and 13 of the Brooklyn police cars, and they cordoned off the street, and they had all these lined up. Keep in mind, at 3 p.m. on the day, they were talking to my lawyers, setting up a date for September 27th, the day we were going to settle the issues. But it's all pre-planned. I was told they brought a helicopter. Next. And police dogs to catch me in case I try to escape. All for nothing, because we were talking to them. I had lawyers, and they were in communication. The last communication was at 3 p.m. on the 20th, where they set up a date to meet. But it's all pre-planned. They attacked my Wikipedia page a week before, so that it's not visible for the people on the 20th. It's gone. Well, it's not small c corruption anymore. It's big C corruption. Next. Gone are the days of renting the Lincoln bedroom. It's a big time. Big time corruption, organized corruption. They say, need money, you're going to give me money, or I take it. This has become the norm in Massachusetts business environment. They wanted my labs, I won't give my labs. So they wanted to be given, lab testing to be given to a particular lab they like. I had my own labs. I charge $100 to $200, I get about $76 per. But when they do the testing, they charge about $1,000 to $2,000 excessive testing. So you understand this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the guy in the middle, my nemesis is this fellow. My story goes all the way back to the White House doors. This gentleman, his name is Botticelli. He was the head of the Bureau of Substance Abuse in Massachusetts. He was taken to Washington by Obama. And the policies here didn't work. They didn't work in Washington either. Essentially, they're based on no wrong door, give methadone, give Suboxone, give Narcan, and let people keep using in a safe place. So this unfortunately became the mantra for Obama, Washington, and that seeped into all the states. And that's why we are seeing this Boeing planes falling every day. People dying, 30, 140 people dying every day. It's not a working system. Well, Stanton Peel, a doctor, went through the thicket of drug use by the people. Drug users are running the show here, and we can see the effects. Next. Well, it's a reefer perspective. Next.
Quite a bit.
So they took away the word abuse, they call it user, and they took away the word no more drug war. It's essentially the boundaries were all gone. There's no longer treated and the treated. It's one and the same. So it's like blind leading the blind. A person who has no knowledge is designated the drug czar, and his treatment policies don't work. A friend Trump wants to drain the swamp, which is a good idea. But it's not just at the top level, it's the bottom level that's corrupt. There's a grassroots level. Unless we get a chance to showcase stories like mine, which shows the corruption at lower levels, you can't undo it. You can take away a few people at the top, but you're stuck with the endemic corruption. It's not an easy job, but we choose to do this because it's not easy, but it's because it's hard. So let's explore why it is hard and how the game gets played. Now from inside the game, I can tell you how the game gets played. Well, you see that CGIU, you know what it stands for? Clinton Global Initiative University.
Oh,
Huh? Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it is.
So this gentleman is speaking there, our drug czar. So we can see how the endemic the system is. So there are Clinton organizations, there's the drug czar, there's a national epidemic, overdose deaths and profiteering. Let's see how it all unravels. Next slide. Well, our drug czar is standing there saying got naloxone, as if got milk, got whatever mustache. So it's kind of a silly way it's a serious business. People are dying. What happens if we get this is Narcan, right? Have you seen this? Have you seen this? So this is what they are selling. Why are they selling this? Next. Well, we had 8 years of mayhem selling this drug. How were they selling it? Next slide, please. Who is this guy? He's also talking for the Clinton Foundation. Next. His name is Spencer Williamson. He is the President Chief Executive for Kaleo, the one that makes the Narcan. And go back. So Kaleo and Clinton Health Matters are partnering to quote unquote save lives. All right, well and good. Next. And a drug czar is promoting that. And they put this kid with lipstick giving a Narcan shot to the bear to hold it up for sympathy for selling the drug. This is done at the White House level. All this is to sell this drug by the pharmaceutical company that is friends with Clinton's. Okay, next. Well, each one requires a couple of shots. If it is just heroin, it requires many more shots if it's fentanyl. So the injections are, it's not that easy for common folks to understand and give it.
Excuse me, Dr. Kishore. So what the Clinton Foundation is doing is they're not actually curing the problem. They're setting up a market to sell Narcan.
That's right.
Keep the problem going so that you can make money off of this Narcan.
Well put. So you can read this here. The original price for this little toy is $690. It makes me angry. But current price is $4,500. I've seen many moms carry one in their pocketbook, one in the backseat of the car, one in the bedroom, one in the bathroom. They spend like $10,000-12,000 on this useless kit that is got probably life expectancy of 6 months. So these are useless programs. So these are being promoted in a big way, but our drugs are. Next. So this is an article that just came out, profiting on death. So they need more people overdosing to sell this product. It's a sick system. Makes you drop. Well, rogues don't have a conscience. That's the Assassin's Creed. So this is what it is. They're selling heartlessly using little kids, to sell their drug, and they want more overdoses so they can sell more drugs. And they're just asinine. And moms whose heart is breaking, but they've got a child who's addicted, they're buying these like crazy because they don't need a prescription anymore. You can get it, I can get it, anybody can walk into a pharmacy and say, I want Narcan, they'll give it to you at $4,500 a shot. What good is that? Well, look at this. That's a bundle of fentanyl shipped from China to one of our port cities, South Boston, I think, or someplace else. So this is not just a patch of fentanyl that is being diverted from a doctor's office. Huge business. So this is how, none of this is reported in the US press. This is all from foreign press. So from China, they're coming into Canada, Montreal, Toronto, Vancouver, and from there they're shipped here. Sometimes they come from Chinese port cities into South Boston, they're shipped from there. It's a huge business. Next. Well, if you read this recent article in The Economist, the Chinese firms are cashing in on American financial woes of buying up our ports, our tollways, our real estate, and our energy companies. So, all the key components of our national infrastructure are owned by Chinese. So they call it the Silk Road. All the ports that they own, Australia, Panama, Darwin, all these ports, and if you punch in Chinese ports owned, you get the whole list of like 40 port cities that they own. So they make the fentanyl in China, ship it in their shipping containers to their own port city, then they put it on their own, the transportation system, and selling it in our communities to kill the people. They come through the ports. It's too huge. Go back to the big bundles. Straight in. So if you look at this, right? One more. Can anybody send this by mail? They're not coming by mail. They're coming in container ships. They're too big. So the allegations are the doctors are overprescribing fentanyl, that's why people are dying. The truth is, it is coming in a quasi-legit way through shipping containers into our port cities. Where is the border control here? There's no border control. We have no border control. Port control. All the ports are owned. Panama, easy way to get them in. South Boston, easy way to get them in. All of these ports are owned by Chinese. Well, this is the swamp we are facing. The pharmaceutical industry creates a problem, then perhaps cleans up by selling a treatment in cahoots with the government that is for the very problem. You create overdoses, you sell Narcan, you make money both ways. This is a political issue, it's not so much. At the local level, we fought hard. this is a global issue here we are facing. Well, it's not just in drug treatment, but also pap smears used to be $20. Now they're $1,000. For women, every woman goes for annual checkup, biannual checkup. They take the test, and it used to be $20, $30, but now it is $1,000.
And your Obamacare doesn't pay for it.
You don't pay for it. You have to pay for it yourself. It's considered wellness. So, are you guys boiling mad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we are off the chart.
Come down a little bit, right?
Next. So, coming back to the Kishore story, Dr. Jendre has done a great job of explaining my.
Yeah.
It's a big story. That's why I have to bring all my support. Listen, Dr. Jendre, Joaquin, because I can't tell it myself. Next. Okay, this is the press release on the day after I was arrested. They said I stole $500,000 from the state by billing. This is all they put in on the first day. First time they arrested me on the 21st. So, next. I was produced in the Malden District Court. Look at the number of cameras. There are like 400 cameras in the courthouse. It's like I was some sort of international gangster of some sort. And it's incredible. The number of newspapers from India, China, Brazil. This is terrorizing. It's terroring. And this is my picture, photograph from the CBS National News on the day. Poor Kishore is sitting there. Yeah.
She was a fall guy so that they can keep on killing people. Governments kill people. They're all
Well, we're coming to that. So on that day, she was on TV saying that I stole $20 million. This is her statement. But you can't find this video anymore on the TV. All the things were erased because the number is wrong. So $500,000 in the press release, the same night $20 million in the TV. This is slander. Next. But you can't find this TV on the internet anymore.
Yep.
Well, essentially prosecution of the public hanging in the press. Next. So 2 days later, I think Joaquin knows very well. People were all lost because it happened so suddenly. We were closing offices, but in a gentle way. Because we had 52 offices, my Medicaid monies were stopped. So I had to do what I have to do to survive, to pay my staff for that. So we cut the staff in half, from 370 to 120, 125, thinking we'll survive, shrink the programs. But then they closed it suddenly, a week later. And this is the press release about the emergency that's happening. So obviously people were calling her office. Next slide. People were saying, where are my records? Where is my doctor? I need my prescriptions. So the Boston magazine wrote a big article about all the increased overdoses. So mothers began to visit crying, where's my child's Vivitrol? What do we do for our child? Because we were no longer operational, right? We had nothing we could do. Our telephones were shut off. Our staff were terrorized with all these TV cameras in front of our offices. Am I right? Yeah. I think Joaquin went through that. He stood by me through all this harassment but the moms were going to the police office saying, my child needs a shot, or my child needs help with this problem. Because we were no longer there.
Excuse me, let me stop you right there. Well, one of the things that, after Dr. Kishore came on my radio show, and when I started putting this event together and putting the event page together, one of the things you have to do is you have to find some information, throw up some information so that people have a context of what's going on. Dr. Kishore's right. I couldn't find squat. I couldn't find squat in the internet. All I could find is the one thing that's on the event page accusing him of this crime. I couldn't find any counter testimony. I couldn't find any other type of stuff on there. And I apologize, Doctor, for having that only thing to put on there. But he's right. The entire thing has been scrubbed out of it.
Oh, we got a lot of good computer friends. We'll find out.
Go back.
We'll get a lot of them back.
The other way.
Truthfully,
The other way, backwards.
You can't erase this.
No, I'm not surprised. I wasn't.
So we can see she's in a pickle right now on September 23rd, state-wide emergency, mothers calling, people wanting records, hospitals calling, we've got these patients here, what do we do? So she's in a pickle. So she had to organize an urgent press conference to cover it up because the numbers are wrong, the data is wrong, it's done very cruelly, in a tyrannical way. So next. So she had 12 issues. She said, she gave a fake number, $20 million to the press, put it on TV. She created a media circus in the Malden District Court where none of the cases went on the day except my case. The press were camped out there. Public health emergency by the DPH. Loss of care. Angry patients calling her office. The flags were everywhere. Failure to keep me in pretrial detention. They wanted $1 million bail, but I was able to get out. Hollow case. They had two cases. Kickback case. That was the original case where I went into the sober house and set up an office, began to give care. And that's the first case, the hollow case, because we had legal opinions before we took anything. Here's some good press. I had good relationship with the press. They all knew me. They were all in my offices, they were writing stories. Legal firms stepped into the case, which they did not expect. The sequestration was not successful. They tried to sequester my funds through a civil lawsuit, like a pincer attack. So the penalty flags are all over the place. So what she did is to call for a press conference, and she combined 4 cases that are unrelated as one case to make up $10 million worth of penalties. Ad life, 5.5 million, nothing to do with me. Preventive medicine, 3.5 million. Counseling services, 160,000. And someplace else, the next one.
So she lied about the whole thing.
Lied about the whole thing. So these are the 10 million she could make up, not 20 million. Okay, by comparing all this.
And none of this has anything to do with you.
me. So the first one, the ad life, this woman ran a nursing home right here in Boston and Springfield. Nothing to do with me. They're not part of my business. Then me, Mitchell Counseling, they're out of New Bedford, they have no contact with me. And they're waiting for a nursing home. This woman passed away a year ago. So they basically revived an old case, it's already been settled.